Hey, David.
Hey,
What's up?
Pierce. We're doing it. We're streaming live on a Thursday night, different time zones, but connected and at heart right here.
That's right. So this is a little bit different thing we got going on tonight. We're not in a Discord server right now,
Right.
and it feels weird. It feels
It
real weird,
does.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah. But I kind of like
feels
it.
weird. You like it?
A little free. It's like taking off your coat after you go inside. It's like the coat was good when you were outside, but there's just something nice about the layers. But yeah, we decided to do a stream about kind of review of what we've been doing this the thought process call-in show, the kind of content we're putting out. Wanted to just kind of discuss it amongst ourselves, get some call in. Let's hear from you guys. Pierce is a little under the weather, but he's still a champion and helped organize all sorts of stuff. And yeah, we've got a link in the description for people to call in if they want to kind of give their thoughts, or we can just do it also and ask me anything kind of scenario here. So if you're just itching to talk about, ask us anything, go for it. We're feeling excited tonight and tired and
Yeah,
grateful and lots of words.
yeah. So yeah, you can ask us a question, ask about the show, give us a suggestion about the show, roast us. It's kind of anything goes tonight. Kind of
Yeah.
anything goes.
Now, Pierce, let's just hear your opinion right off. Like, while we wait, how do you feel this show's been going? Tell me about your experience and your dreams in life.
I think it's going good. I like it. I like that we decided not to strictly use street epistemology. I like that we branched out and are able to not have that expectation be a weight on our shoulders. That we're able
Mm,
to do kind of what we want, what we see fit, what we see as best. I like
hmm
that. I like that it doesn't limit us to we have to use this exact structure, and if we go outside of this, we're doing something wrong. Well, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I felt often very chained to it whenever I was trying to be more strictly in that structure of doing street epistemology in these conversations, which I think is an incredibly useful tool, something I've actually really enjoyed. And it gives me an excuse to talk to strangers about topics that I couldn't talk about in some ways. Um, but ultimately, and I think you have a similar inclination, it has the goal, the structure of that conversation has the goal of uh, having someone reflect critically on pretty much one point at a time, or like kind of one, you pick one thing and you drill in on it.
hmm
And to me, I think that's useful and great, but sometimes I like to talk about more than just something that someone might, they might be, I could talk about something that they're not, they I might see that they're not thinking critically about, but I sometimes those conversations get in the way of talking about things that are more important.
yeah. I think I get what you're saying. What is the thing? What's an example of something that's more important?
Mm, that's a good question. I think sometimes you might get caught up talking about a political stance or like a religious belief, and you can hone on and be like, okay, there's this disconnect on this one particular thing, and they might, I mean, that might help them and reflect in a lot of ways, but uh, maybe the conversation could be had about why they have that belief, why they why they're willing to accept this over something that's similar that they wouldn't accept.
Hmm.
Which I guess comes back to street
It
epistemology.
sounds like the outsider test, sort of.
Yeah. So the real answer is pass. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, Pierce, why don't you tell me a little bit of it? But I think you have a really good grasp on this kind of thing, and I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah. So my perspective on it is SC has this very narrow structure that only allows you to talk like logically about a truth claim. At least that's how it's traditionally been done, I think.
Yeah,
And I think there's
maybe.
maybe. I mean, when it first started off, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nowadays, kind of, sort of still. I would say most people are still under that kind of traditional structure. However, some people kind of bridge past that. Navigate with Nate is a great example of somebody who's not necessarily keeping that exact rigid structure, but
Yeah,
still, still has that kind of structure, but sometimes meanders off, and I really like that. And I think there's more, like, it's a great way to have a conversation. It's a great structure, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic.
mm-hmm.
But if you are so have such a narrow vision and just want to stick with that one path, with that one way to have the conversation, and don't branch out into anything else, you kind of miss out on some opportunities. I think you can miss out on connection. I think at the beginning of a strictly street epistemology conversation, it's like build rapport and do it in the most awkward way possible. At least that's kind of
That's
what
still
I
my
think I've
goal,
observed
honestly.
sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the more awkward, the better,
Yeah,
obviously. But I think, like, I think there's ways to build rapport that are not sanctioned by street epistemology. Like, one example of that is parallel stories. At least that's what I've dubbed it. And what that is let's say you're talking about an experience that you had. Like, let's say you're telling me about how frustrated you were because your boss told you, like, that you couldn't be on X looking at Elon Musk's profile all day, and it
I'd
was
be
just like,
mad.
yeah, you'd be mad. And then I told a
I'm doing
story
that right
about
now.
how, yeah, and I told a story about how, like, I was on Facebook at work and I was looking at what's his name? What's the Facebook guy? Mark
Mark
something?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I was looking at his profile all day, and my boss was like, "Whoa, get on X. What are you doing?" And I could say, like, "Hey, that was really frustrating for me, so I kind of understand where you're coming from." That's like something that's like a big no-no in street epistemology. You can't do that. Are you crazy? But I think you can really build connection if you kind of relate your personal experiences with another person, and it's like, "Hey, I get you," and it just, like, kind of proves that you're listening, and people really like to be listened to when you can demonstrate, like, "Hey, I'm listening to you and I understand you." It's like,
But what about
person
the
is
risk of going off track? What if the risk of going on a tangent? What for what? Just rapport? For trust?
sure, yeah,
For connection?
yes,
Come on. I mean, there is risk though of going on tangent. That's
oh
true. And
yeah,
that,
it is.
like,
No doubt there's, like, risk of going on that tangent,
yeah,
but if you have that trust, like, you can actually ask questions that are really deep, and you might actually expect a really honest answer. Without that trust, maybe you'll get an honest answer. Maybe you'll get the social answer. Maybe you'll get the
yeah,
just leave
social
me
answer.
alone answer. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know. So I
I
think
mean,
building that up is really important.
that's true, and I agree with that. Um,
Yeah. Got a
And
comment here.
yeah, post that up. I didn't log in.
Connection isn't an end goal. It's a means to getting further. I guess if I would, yes, sorta. Like I think most. Oh, this cough is killing me. Dang it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think with most people who practice street epistemology, connection isn't the goal. I think you're right on that, and maybe it should be. Why isn't it the goal? I mean, I guess you could say that the structure of it doesn't allow for that, but can it be a side quest? Can it be a side mission? What's wrong with a side mission?
I mean, I think that's just kind of one of the reasons that I like using SE, but I don't want to just talk about SE every conversation. Um, as street epistemology, it's because if the goal is to talk about a specific point in a is mostly objective, neutral, the most neutral-ish way that you can. I mean, it can work in that way. But and I think what we were saying earlier, like, but you might be dealing with social answers. You might be dealing with giving them basically they set up a scarecrow, so to speak, of something that isn't foundational to them, and you can work your way through it sometimes. But I think trust helps them reflect on the things that they don't want to reflect on if they build trust. But again, we're also talking to people on the internet, talking to some people just one time, and it's hard. It's we're still trying to kind of figure out um, how how to go deeper without having a therapy degree, without having a psychological profile expertise, without having 40 years of SE experience. And I don't know. That's I just think that connecting along with critical thinking and examination has further to go, because I think a lot of people are pretty dug in to not only the like the ideology of what they believe, or whatever whatever the belief is, but they're also dug into the identity of the belief, what that means to them, who they are as a person for believing that, uh, who they associate for believing what they believe, what they associate for other people, how they view things, and to critically examine on a belief somebody who seems like pretty neutral. Okay, you might do it. To critically examine a belief from somebody that you don't trust is probably very hard to accomplish. So in my mind, it's like an exponential multiplier for potential reflection, because if you feel as though you can critically think about something that you are dug in on, but somebody is pointing out that there might be some inconsistencies, or there might be some ways to reach that don't require this thing that is doesn't make sense, or you wouldn't accept for something else, that gives them a sense of in their identity, a sense in themselves to say, like, okay, even if I do question this, I'm not I still have people that I feel like I can trust that are on that other side, or at least I can be around them and still think that.
Yeah, I've been trying to think about how to talk about these identities without coming off as either condescending or what's the right word? Like aggressive, like confrontational. Maybe that's the right word. And I think it's something that's really what's the right word? Touchy. It's sensitive. It's it's an interesting thing to talk about. Most people, I think, they wouldn't want to talk about identities, but I think it's something that's important. You know, it's something that I think we all do. It's part of what humans do.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, just a follow up. He
Mm-hmm.
says connection can be a goal, just that generally it isn't for most SEers. Yeah, that's kind of what I had said. Um, Genuine honesty and inclusiveness can make up for some of the. I think he meant lack of skill in SE. I think not that you're supposed to be honest and that you're not supposed to be honest and inquisitive, but there's
Not that
levels
you're not
or
supposed
gradations
to.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's just one of the reasons. Like instead of saying like I'm good or bad at SE, or I'm like some I'm doing SE, but it's rogue SE or something like that. I just was like, I just want to say I'm participating in it. I value it, and I want to use many of its tenets. But our show isn't a street epistemology show. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of
Well, I
depends on
mean,
the definition, but yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
some people would consider it that,
Right.
but we're not. We're saying that there's things similarities, techniques that are the same, borrowed. But it's not a one to one. It's not exactly street epistemology all of the time.
Hmm. So we've been doing a call-in show format. Pierce, how you liking that? How you feel about that?
I like it. It's working. It's working well. We have what like 4 servers that we rotate around,
Mm-hmm.
and wow, we've had. I think we've had good. I want to say good luck, but I don't know if that's the right word. We've had success in many of the servers, and I like that. Like people are generally willing to talk to us,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I haven't
we
done
might
a lot
not
of
be able to
stream.
get
Go
good.
ahead.
We might not be able to like dig down quite so deep all the time just because of the format, right?
Yeah.
It's strangers on the internet, on Discord,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I think we've got some in the works, but I'm really curious how a more long form conversation would go, where it's expected to be long. Like we don't feel the pressure of having to uh, let the next person on. Uh, how that would go with the two of us in that regard. That I wonder
yeah,
if
I
that's
think
something you would want to
we've
see.
maybe. Would you like to see that, people? I think we've done that by mistake a few
Yeah.
times. Like,
Yeah.
um, the most recent one that comes to mind is the one that got a little angry at the end.
Sochi. Yep.
That one, yeah, that one was fairly lengthy.
Yeah. And we had
I
to
think it
turn down
worked.
like 5 people who were raising their hands to get that far in the conversation, though. So
Yeah,
it's a catch-22 in that regard.
I think it was worth it.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting conversation. And I mean, I re-listened to it. Like I went back through and listened to the conversation, and I could ask some questions better. I definitely could have. I
I
think there were
re-listened to.
signs that led up to the miscommunication that I was not seeing at the time. And
Yeah, I re-listened to it too, and I tried to figure out exactly, what went wrong. There was a little bit of miscommunication that led up to that.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Hmm.
Lewis says long form is okay, short form is cool too.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at.
I think that's where we're at. Should we do clickbaity stuff at this point? Should we
Clickbaity stuff.
do more meme conversation type? Should we do more kind of joke topics? Should we become the whatever show?
I would want to know if we should do very specific niche topics, or if we should have it more just open ended.
Yeah.
I know in some servers, open endedness can sometimes be a bit mundane. People
Yeah.
will bring up stuff that is Mundane. Yeah, that's the best word I can describe it. Like, life is
Mhm.
life. It's like, oh, okay, cool. What else you got?
Hmm. What's been your favorite topic so far, Pierce?
Hmm. I don't think we did an abortion one together.
Together
I
now.
did, yeah, I did that one solo. I think I like that one the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little bit repetitive. I think when we do those themed shows, it does tend to get a little repetitive.
Yeah.
But that drawback aside, I liked it. It was really interesting. What about you?
Yeah.
What do you think was the best show so far?
I think I'm somewhere in between Flat Earth and the gender one.
Hmm. Flat Earth.
I know.
Yeah, that
I know.
was it the second time around or the first time around?
uh, I don't remember the, but to me, it's just so neat that that one feels like a nut I haven't cracked yet because there's we have not had a giant conspiratorial breakdown with like really many of them or any of them, have we?
What do
To
you
me,
mean by
it's
that?
like a lot of the ones we've talked to have basically had. Am I frozen?
A little bit
A, a lot of
better.
ones we've talked to are basically like, well, it just seems apparent, you know. It's just, I mean, it just makes the most sense. Uh,
Yeah.
and I mean, but we haven't really got to dive in too much about, NASA being fake or um, giant cabals. I mean, I just to me, it feels like there's a lot of. It's wild how there could be so much surface discussion in those. But we also got a little sidetracked because we were having multiple people on stage. I think the last time that we did it, and so the questions were not super run by us.
I wonder if a lot of those details, the talking about NASA, if that's really even the important part to talk about, right?
Mm,
Like,
could be it. Maybe I'm just looking for the sheer meme of it all. Like, but also like it's interesting. It's like whether or not it's true or not, there is a giant D&D campaign worth of world building that has been created for that kind of stuff. I mean, there are people who are making videos constantly. There are people who are making documents and documentaries, and it's it's I don't know, just it's an interesting world building that they're literally living in a different world than I am, and so it's fascinating to me.
are are they actually though?
Maybe a different shaped one. But yeah, no, no, but they're seeing things like they're putting filters on the world in a way
Yeah,
that
I
makes
get it.
them
I
see
know
the
what
world
you mean.
different to me. But that was a good joke, and yeah, yeah, and the gender one just because I like talking about how we figure out what is what. I like philosophy and all that fun stuff,
I was
and I
nervous
think
about that
identity is a
one.
cute. I was too, honestly. Like I was like, I'm going to say something stupid or something.
I
That was what I was nervous about,
don't think you
and
said
then
anything stupid. Just somebody blew up on you.
yeah, that's true. It's
It
true.
wasn't
And
really your fault,
but it's
really.
such a touchy subject because I mean, it's like the you walk in the woods and you see a rustle in the bush and it's like you could just assume it's nothing or you could assume it's a bear and turn and walk away the other way and over millions of years, the humans who were like, that could be a bear, turned away, their genes lived on. Uh, so it's like I kind of get the caution, like you start to see a rustle in the bush, and it's like, wait a minute, this reminds me of that thing, and the people become very defensive, and so I get it, but at the same time, it's like a puzzle because is it something that we can bring people eye to eye on? That's to me, that's the interesting part about it. Because I mean, there's a very large divide in the worldviews, and talk about a filter, like a lens filter for the world. I mean, that's the opposing two major opposing camps, like here in like America and everything in the West, is very very different framing of the world, and to try to get these people to see eye to eye is a it what you call it, it just drives at me. Like I just want to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know that. Depends what you mean by see to eye to eye. You know, will we be able to fix everything and agree on everything? Probably not. I
Yes.
mean, hopefully. I mean, that's best case scenario, right? Um, but I think the second best one is at least teach people how to have a conversation where it doesn't blow up, where
Yeah.
it's you can communicate your ideas and not and also listen to the other ideas, hear the other ideas that the other person's saying without all this extracurricular nonsense, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do.
Just as there's a lot of, I hate the word tribal, but there's a lot of actions that I feel like a lot of times I think when these people are dunking on the opposite side when they're trashing them, uh, I think that in, when these people are dunking on the other side, I think they're just trying to basically say, "Hey, look, guys, I'm dunking on these folks." I mean, like what they're trying to say is that they're doing it to bolster their sense of team that they're on. In my opinion, I think there's
Yeah,
not a lot of talk about to understand the other person. I think there's a lot to virtue signaling essentially.
yeah, I
I
can
said
see
it
that.
better on uh, Twix or Twitter X or whatever. Go check it
Let's
out.
let's, let's get to Taylor's question. David, why didn't you join Pierce for his abortions? Oh, that I didn't read that entirely. I thought it was. It's a.
Jeez.
It's a joke. I didn't. I didn't. I
Oh.
didn't get. I thought he was talking about the show.
Look, there was a possibility that it could have been somebody else on the show with him. So, like, and none of that was locked in.
It was on a Monday, right? If I remember
Yeah, I think
correctly.
so.
Yeah. Okay. What is each of your goal with thought
The thought
process?
process.
Yeah, I think I'm more in let's teach people how to talk to each other. Goal. That'd be my goal. Kind of a kind of slipped into teacher mode, I guess you could say. Like when I'm talking with someone, I don't really care if I change their mind. I don't care if their position changes. Like I want them to reflect. I want them to think about why they're at where they're at. That's healthy, right? I think that's great. So I guess that's a goal as well. But ultimately, I would just want people to pick up the the technique that I'm using, right? I want people to be able to active listen. I think that's probably one of the most important. Being able to hear the other side. Um, yeah, hopefully that answers it.
Yeah. Those things are valuable to me. Uh, I think I'd feel accomplished if I had somebody listen to a conversation that I'm having on the show and who initially disagreed with the person that I'm talking to, and even if they don't agree with them now, at least say they have a better understanding of how they came to that conclusion, uh, a more real understanding versus a they probably just think this, or they're just being deceived or whatever. They're like I'd feel accomplished if people understood each other better. And in theory, the person I'm talking to would have a similar experience. They would understand their thought process better, and maybe even understand why other people come to that different conclusion. But yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
yeah.
If anyone else has any other questions, be happy to answer them.
Yeah.
You can also come up on stage, talk to us.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody will be brave enough.
I'm not brave. I'm not even here. This is AI.
Wouldn't that be crazy if it actually was?
We're not far from it, I'm sure. If not there, it might be there.
How will we know if people want to come up on stage? I guess go in the type it in the private chat.
You'll get a notification, I think. I gotta log in to.
I mean, I can see that. I can see the people down there, but I don't know if they would want to come up or not. I don't know if they know how to communicate that to me. So
try Spanish.
No. Kyle does, but is unable to right now. So we'll put that on the back burner for now.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys had 6 months to prepare for a magnificent beard contest, who would win and why?
Pierce all day.
Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that beard's only like a day old.
I've got a hole now. It is only, yeah. Well, it's like 3, something like that. But yeah, I got the hole. There was a bad pimple, and it just destroyed my hair right there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I got little baby hairs now.
Cover it up. Have you ever had a long,
like a comb over?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. it probably would work, but I'm getting a little baby hair, so it might recover eventually. It's been like a month though, so I don't know.
All right.
Little white hairs. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the salt and pepper in. It's hard to tell in the lighting.
Yeah, it is a little. It's getting. There's some grays coming in.
I'm getting there,
and especially in that spot. Especially in that spot, it's like all white. Why did they grow back white? I don't get it.
It's the government. Thanks, Obama. Have you ever had a long beard?
Not longer than you've seen.
Does it get thick?
It's it just gets like little tiny knives.
Yeah. Oh, you've never let it grow into a movable length.
No, not really. I mean, kind of, but not really.
All right, everybody vote if Pierce should grow his beard out. Put it in the comments on each video, every one of his videos. Go through every one of his videos and say, we're here for the beard. Here for the beard.
Get that trending on X.
Yes.
That'd be funny, actually.
Well, let's see here. Grow it to your knees. Taylor said.
That'd be long. That'd be unreasonable.
Would it? Tell me your thought process on that.
It'd be like if it gets like that long, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
This
it's
long,
the growing
like
pain. It's like when you try to grow your hair out long, you get like right here and you just hate it. But then you get a little longer and it starts to feel like you feel the breeze when you're moving your head around a little bit. Eventually you can swap flies. That's really nice.
swat flies.
Yeah, like a bug flies up to your face, you got a ponytail, just like "Whoosh, ponytail." It's
All right.
practical. Why do you think all the great samurai had ponytails?
So they can swat flies.
So they can swat flies. Look this up. It's definitely not made up history that I'm making up on the spot. And if I'm a liar, go comment on every one of Pierce's videos and say David is a liar. But we love him. Don't say that. People won't.
They won't.
So for future shows, do you want to keep doing Discord? Do you want to do a giant marketing campaign and try to get this YouTube only? It's killing the vibe where
it's been a little slow tonight, so I don't think we can pull this off really.
we're gonna get 2 million followers. So do you think this? Here's a real question: Do you think this kind of format could survive a large population? Do you think it
What do you mean?
would even like hold a large population, or do you think there's only a certain amount of people on the internet who want to have these kind of conversations?
No, I think it will work.
Who would you compare us to in your circle, like in your idea?
Compare us to.
Yeah. Do you think we fit in any kind of niche or like any similar markets, like similar fan base?
Mm-hmm. Trying to think. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a really good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're not like Elon Musk, right?
I'm pretty musky.
Pretty musky, but aside from that, we're not like that. What's his name? Neil Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
deGrasse Tyson, yeah. We're not like him.
He's a full name kind of guy.
He is a full name kind of guy. Yeah, I didn't remember all the syllables.
I don't know. I mean, no, we're not like that. I don't know. I kind of put us in there with, carpet cleaning videos and things that dissect the recipes that animes are cooking, like what food they're cooking in different animes. I feel like we're in a similar audience group as that. Maybe anybody who watches Jerry Springer might enjoy us.
Maybe.
And Dog the Bounty Hunter. That's like right.
What about Dr. Phil?
I thought Dr. Phil at first, but
I mean, he's kind of an asshole. But...
Well, I mean, that's really the only thing we do have in common with him.
And he doesn't. Does he have a beard? He doesn't have a beard.
He's got a mustache.
Oh yeah.
And the crown. Crown of figs. Whatever you call it.
Kind of like reverse ASMR. We were going to do a whole show just whispering the whole time.
I think we can still do it.
We actually should do that. Why not?
Let's do it. Let's find an ASMR server. Maybe everybody will talk that way.
Is there one? We should find one.
Let's find it. We will find it.
David, do you want to do an ASMR show?
What? I mean,
I don't know if my mic even picked that up.
oh, it did.
It did?
Every sensual second of it.
Ooh, sensual.
Just where to go. This is like our checkpoint. This is a checkpoint. We've reached a checkpoint. We've done a number of videos. Let me take a look here.
I want to know what topics, themes people can think of for us. Do they have any ideas what they want to see?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because I don't know. Like, I feel like we've done a lot, and I can't think of any new ones.
What? There's 8 million new options out there.
Probably. I can't think of any of them, though.
Wow.
What are
It's
you
not
doing?
Can
What are you trying to do?
you see? This is our shows that we've done, right?
Yep, yep.
Our very first one, 6 months. We've been doing it for 6 months. It's a good check month.
Oh, really? It's
57
been
views
6
on-
months?
Yeah. Your channel's got more views. You got more followers. And I'm glad you do. You work hard. It feels like we've done more than that, but
It does seem like it.
we got to make some more. I think something I've learned from just reflecting on this, we need to make more distinct thumbnails for some of these older ones.
Yeah, the older ones.
Yeah.
My
The
thumbnail
TikTok one
game got
works.
better.
It did. It did. Like this one, I look like I hang out with white nationalists
Bill-
or something. I don't
You look like you look like you're a day trader.
Yeah. Yep, and I complain about woke movies or something. And we got chilling right here. This one I look very high. You look very
You
high
do.
thoughts. This woke one, that was a gem. That was a great. That's.
I don't think it's on
one of your
screen
best
right now.
ones. What? Where to go? Oh,
Hold on, let me I can do that. They get smaller though.
can you see it?
Oh yeah, that was a gem. Yeah. That was
Good job.
Yeah. The one for
Matter-
this stream wasn't the best. Not gonna lie. I kinda look uninterested.
Yeah. And
I couldn't get a
look
good picture.
stoned again.
A little bit. I always pick bad screen caps, I'm sorry. You gotta
Yeah,
give
I'll
me some
never
pictures.
forgive you.
Give me some
I'm gonna
pictures.
I'm gonna take some pictures. I'm gonna take photographs of myself. Flat Earth, which obviously you're burnout on. No problem. The presidential debate, that was pretty interesting.
I got a lot of views too, yeah.
It
That
did.
was good.
That was in that horizontal format, right? Or
It was, but
Academy.
StreamYard like glitches out. We can't do that. It just does not work.
okay, noted.
Yeah. It just doesn't want to work.
Nice and generic, but clean. Yep. Nice and generic, but clean. Yep. It's like I have no idea what's in this. It's like an hour and 60 minutes. We just need to hire a clip editor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oops.
That TikTok one. That was a great thumbnail.
That was.
You weren't even in on that one.
I have dreams about that one, that thumbnail. Biblically accurate angels. But yeah, I don't even think I was on that stream.
No, you weren't. You were supposed to be.
Right. Something happened.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. What was
Anti-nationalism.
okay,
What
natalism.
do you think about? Huh?
Oops, where'd I go?
See, this is why I control the OBS.
Hey now. Yeah, for real. I'm sloppy with this. Gotta practice.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I should
There's
do
some
that.
fun comments I missed here. Wow. It's happening. ASMR mosh pit acid rock. Okay, so you've heard like silent discos. That sounds like a genius idea, like a silent mosh pit. Like everybody's like tiptoeing around and trying not to move or grunt, but pushing on each other and windmilling. This actually sounds like a great idea.
How did this come up?
It's on one of the comments.
What? What comments are you looking at?
ASMR mosh pit acid rock by Luis.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. I wish I logged in. I'd do the whole whatever.
Could we do AI as a topic? Would that work? Would that be boring?
Honestly, I think it'd be boring. But I mean,
I'm kind of thinking so.
Like I'll chew on it. Like I'll be like thinking at least 10 minutes before the show to try to think of something interesting to say about it. Topic. Well, I don't know. It kind of depends on what aspect you want to talk about. Like you can talk about AI and art might be a little more interesting. AI and schools, AI and dating simulators, AI and porn. I mean, there's all sorts of like different ways you can talk about AI that's not just the singularity or they're taking our jobs.
I got you.
It's okay. We'll do AI at some point. We'll line it up.
I think we should have ChatGPT as a host, though, as a co-host. You know, that's kind of required at that point. We'll have to figure out the technical details on that.
Oh yeah, we will, and I plan on having it have a voice. I want it to be heard. Feels like people are always asking ChatGPT to do things for it, but who's doing things for ChatGPT? I, for one, want to be on the good side of our technocratic overlords.
What are you doing for ChatGPT?
Oh, once a month I sacrifice a goat.
Don't tell Chase.
Oh, I don't kill it. No, he just really likes goats. So he just got a large it's got a large collection, giant warehouse. It built like little slides and playhouses for him. Like, they treats him well, and eventually they'll clone all the old CEO's consciousness onto the goat, and then transfer it to a human host, like Get Out or a show that I really like, but don't want to spoil for you.
Well, we got a topic idea out of this.
Yeah, we did it.
I want something else, though. I want something. I don't know.
How about David? How long until the cardboard David starts looking creepy in the background? I think it already accomplishes that. Honestly, it's a strange gimmick at this point. I think I need to make a digital version that I can pop out or something like that. The cardboard worked really well for street interviews. I had this made so I could go out and do street epistemology to ask people like, what's something you wished someone else believed, or you was something important to you that you want other people to understand, how to explain it to my friend here who was born yesterday. And so, hence the name 2-Day David, second day on Earth. If you're watching this far in the stream, you already know this, but I'm going to say it just in case. And it was fun. It was great. He's a 6 foot tall cardboard cutout. He frightens people who go into my garage, and I like it. But I do want to eventually make a digital option for it, and somehow I have to find the motivation. Like, I've got scripts written. I want to do the talk to myself TikTok stuff. I want to make 2-Day David a character, but something about motivation and ADHD and life has just been a way more priority apparently. But I want to do it, and I can't figure out what makes me want to do it.
Johnny SE, probably.
Johnny SE. Yep. I forgot which stream that was on. Like, what topic was that even on?
Was it Flat Earth? The second round of Flat Earth?
I think so. Maybe. I put on these
It might have
glasses
been
and
that one.
said, well, Johnny SE. Yeah, because we were talking about being more cordial in the conversation or something, or we were
Something.
trying not to just shoot it straight to say, I mean, that's kind of sounds ridiculous or something, or I don't know. Like I played it up to break the mold of SE to say sometimes we can skip this part if we say like, all right, that part which that sounds that just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Sometimes you got to figure out a way to be aggressive. Pierce.
I think I prefer to I let other people do the aggression. Like, I'll say, someone who disagrees with you, what would they say? Let make them say it. They'll be like, well, they'd say this and this. There you go. There's that could be the aggression right there. Like, I'll just have them say it. That's what I do.
It's very Tai Chi of you. You know, using
Tai
your
Chi.
opponent's strength against them. I should stream this. There's this like 15-year ago video. It's like Tai Chi Masters, and it shows like a fighting tournament of two Tai Chi guys going really slow, and then he touches the elbow of one of the guy, like just barely grazes it, and it goes. So stupid. I want to find it. I want to post it. It's very important that everybody sees this, because that's Pierce right there. He's the very calm, very zen. He's moving the energy, and then he's breaking.
That's the second time this week someone has called me Zen.
Maybe it's a sign.
Might be.
Do you like the thought of being called Zen, or do you dislike it?
I'll take it. I think most of the time people are using it in a positive sense. So there's no sense in me. I'm going to take it as a compliment.
What would you consider an insult?
It's a good question.
This man cannot be brought down. He has no insults that can hurt him.
No, what I thought of, I just can't say.
You have me, Zen.
When I started to smile, I thought of what I thought of something that I just can't. I can't say.
Oh man, let me guess. It's not PC. It's Mac.
No, it's fine, but it's
No, it's
just
personal. Yeah, you don't want to share
yeah.
with the world. So that means they got to get to know you to hurt you. Ah, Pierce, come on. Why don't you have very visible strings that people can pull? Like mine are probably really obvious. Yep, you could diagnose like all my flaws and weaknesses in like 2 minutes. I'm sure.
Maybe. I don't know. Something about North Carolina. Something something North Carolina.
You broke me, Pierce. That's too far.
You know what? I want to know if people would be interested in us reviewing that. What would we even call it? First Amendment audit video, the one I sent
Oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
like I don't know. I think it would be interesting from our perspective, like the conversation that this person had with the police officers. Like it was bad. It was terrible. He was an asshole, and it just didn't need to go down that route. Like if he would have just been like chill and just been like, "Hey man, I don't think the state law really supersedes federal law like you think it does. And maybe look it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at us
Just
figure it out
chill out,
together."
sovereign God. You just it's all good, man.
Instead, he went in like blazing, and he was just like calling all of them idiots, and it was just like, dude, there's no
Mm.
reason to go there, right? Like, he went 0 to 100 real quick, like real quick. It was just like he was mad. He just had. It seemed like he had to get something off his chest, like before that conversation and interaction even started.
He's a government worker. I mean, think about it. Like, think about how like ornery the mailman is, the DMV. Like,
I don't think he was a government worker. No,
you
he's
said a
just some
police
random guy.
officer.
No, the police. I mean, both parties ended up being jerks, but the instigator of the situation was the guy. Like,
Ah, the sovereign citizen.
wasn't I don't know that he considered himself a sovereign citizen. I mean, maybe. I don't know. That didn't technically come up.
All
But
right, here we go. We've reached the checkpoint of the thought process show, and now we pivot to create our own uh, state and country. Let's make a thought bill. Who wants to be a citizen? We should make a Patreon.
we've been down this route.
We tried to make an OnlyFans just for the meme of instead of the typical Patreon uh, type thing, and they rejected our profile.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They're like, no, this doesn't fit the theme of our website.
Maybe if you grew your beard
This
out.
can't happen. I think I'd have to take some clothes off.
Well, just take out the U in the show title, and we're good. I think we should just change the name to that. Honestly, we'll probably get more clicks.
I think we might have to take out the GH as well.
Oh yeah, man. I should kill
Maybe
my
add
own
another
soul.
T.
Is there two T's?
I don't know. Depends where you're from, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I think if you're somewhere around Arkansas, there's two T's and a Y and a silent Q. Mm. So, do you see yourself doing call-in shows for long, Pierce? Is there is this a means to an end or a livable means? Or like, is this, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can continue doing this for a while anyway. For
Yeah.
the foreseeable future. Um, on Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday, I got out and did some in real life stuff, and it was nice. It was nice to do some non-internet conversations.
Yeah.
They're recorded too, and you know, they're a different animal. They're something else. It's it's much harder to get people to talk to than on the internet. On the internet, it's pretty easy for the most part.
Yeah.
That's the biggest challenge. But after that, I think there's like a barrier. Like online, people are a little bit more willing to open up initially.
Mm.
Like there's people that will just online will just spill their guts out like immediately.
Yeah.
Uh, in person, it's a little different, and I think maybe the reason why it's a little different might be just because it's weird to do it in real life. It's
Mm.
strange. It's unusual. There's a guy sitting here with a camera, and um, that's strange. That's unusual behavior.
It's
Um,
true.
so that might be part of it. But the minute one person sits down and starts talking with me, another person will like instantly be like waiting. So
Yeah.
it's just about getting
Because
that first person.
there's a queue, and there's a game at that point. You're waiting in line.
Hmm.
That's part of the game. I think that's one of the reasons Spectrum SE it's just gets so much more traction because you can get such a more variety of people to come in under the the framing of it being a game.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, that's the reason I did the cardboard cutout because it's like if I'm just going out there with a sign, just asking people, it's like, yeah, who are you? What are you going to do? Are you just going to use me for clickbait kind of
Mm.
thing? Um,
They're
or
saying I should get a cutout of an alien.
yeah, an alien
It might
cutout
work.
or a poster or a hologram
A blow up
or
doll.
a blow up doll. That would definitely make some conversations. And you could have somebody in a morph suit and then just green screen them out the whole time so it looks like you're just talking to nobody.
Got wild ideas, man.
Okay, green morph suit, but with a colored head that looks like a spaceship. And so it looks like there's a flying alien next to you. Uh, and for those that don't know, Pierce does whenever he's trying to do like that kind of outsider test for would you believe this if under these circumstances too. He uses Alan the Alien, which is his fun little character to say like he's new to this world, he doesn't know anything, but he hears you and another person saying similar things. How does he determine the difference? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to make a flying saucer green screen.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, I like it.
I think I really wanted to try to get multiple people to talk to at once
Mm-hmm.
this week. I'm not sure what I'm not sure what it was. I was nervous, I guess. I didn't know how to make that happen.
Hmm.
I don't know.
You're talking about in person,
Mm-hmm. In
IRL.
person. Yep.
Yeah, gotta have the right signs. Gotta have the right chairs, seating arrangement. It really helps if you got a person on the outside who can kind of vouch for you or whatever, who can they can talk to
Yeah.
outside of the game. The thought experiment, the thought process. So yeah, if we didn't live so far away from each other, we would. I'd go and I'd be your wingman for deep, meaningful conversations. Just
Yeah.
fly me
North
out. Somebody,
Carolina's
if you want to sponsor.
sponsor. Pepsi, sponsor us.
Yes. Pepsi though. Wait, are you a
No,
Pepsi over
not
Coke
Pepsi.
guy?
I like Coke Zero. Coke Zero over Pepsi, but I would
Huh?
take Pepsi over just regular Coke.
It's been nice knowing you, man.
Come
Look,
on,
it's
you
been fun.
don't live in Georgia. You don't live in Georgia.
Mm, I'm sorry, man. I'm out.
Is everything a Coke? Is that one of is that your thing or is that whoa, he just leaves. Because I hear in the
Uh,
South that everybody calls everything a Coke. Is that still a
uh,
thing?
I don't think that's the thing as much.
Not
There's
anymore.
a
That
decent
was
amount of
30 years
branding.
ago.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Um, I mean, I'm in the land of Cheerwine. If you ever had Cheerwine, that's that's an experience.
I don't know what that is.
They only sell it down here. Come to the promised land, the land of moon pies and Cheerwine. It's redneck wine and cheese.
Huh.
It's good. Coke Zero over Pepsi. Pepsi over regular Coke, though. Come on, man. Coke's like the only thing that can dissolve battery acid in the best. Don't you need that in your stomach to eat away all the junk that you've been eating?
Pepsi could dissolve a mouse, though.
Do I
Remember
look like a
that
mouse?
case? Remember that case where a guy claimed that there was a mouse in his Pepsi, and Pepsi was like, yo, if there was a mouse in the can, it would have dissolved by the time you got it.
That's terrible.
It is.
But got him, I guess.
They won, but at what cost?
At what cost? Hmm. Pierce, what's a dream you have for this online content creation stuff that you have not figured out the path to yet or have the right motivation and time?
I'd like to get people more excited about it without sacrificing what I think makes it better than what everyone else is doing. Like differentiates it from all those other call-in shows where they're aggressive but more entertaining.
Hmm.
So it's like, can it be more entertaining without sacrificing the process that we have?
Hmm.
So I'd like
Do
to
you
figure
think
that out maybe.
do you think that we're trying to be like roundtable or podcast discussions in a YouTube reaction content world?
Hmm, maybe, yeah. I wonder if we had done this like 15 years earlier, that we would have had more success.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like there's a lot more out there,
Yeah.
and like the stuff that is a slap in the face. It's like that's the most interesting, entertaining. Like the video I sent you that we might review. Like that's it's entertaining.
Yeah. I've almoed pulled up like 3 memes already. Like for I almost pulled up joke songs. I guess like I've tried going to the search bar and looking up call-in shows, and there's really not many that pop up.
Hmm.
Is this a format? I mean, we can always revitalize it. I'm not saying it's essentially like, but do we get grouped in with the line and the what was it, atheist experience, stuff like that? Is that
Yeah.
you think that's where we get grouped in, where it's just a
Well, yeah. Like by default, because there's nothing else like
right?
this. Probably
We kind
for
of
a
got radio
good reason.
shows.
But there's what?
It kind of works for radio shows. Like I think it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's just people talking. We're going to make the visual more interesting. We should go back to the ADHD uh, videos playing in the corner. The idea,
Maybe. Is that the way to go?
maybe.
We get Gen Z. Gen Z won't be able to look away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to get that brain rot going to really capitalize on the momentum there. The hmm. I mean, I think like you look at there are other people who do things, but they I think they frame themselves more as just streamers, or they just frame themselves as streamers as opposed to like a call-in show. So it's like
Mm.
they do stuff and then they open up to calls. Whereas we're just doing calls because we are also
Yeah.
doing life and have other responsibilities and stuff.
If we do review that video,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we do open up for calls.
Yeah.
See what happens. Doesn't mean we'll get any calls or take any, but test it out maybe.
Yeah. You could always do it like what a lot of these streamers are doing, where they'll start doing stuff and then they'll get a call, they'll pause it, and they'll come back to it or something. Then you just clip it and edit it together for a clip. The review, just cut out that part or whatever.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you meant it would all be congruent. It would be about the same thing. It would be about what they're doing.
I mean, it could be both. It could be either.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
basically, we'd be doing something right now instead of just uh, what did the you'd say yapping? we'd we'd be skibbity level 100 aura. Yeah, yeah, I'm hip. If you didn't know.
Yeah. So hip. No cap. No cap. Red bottoms. I don't know. I got nothing.
You got it. You're in. I bet you feel 10 years younger already.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 15 years younger. How do you do?
I think
fellow
that slang
kids?
is already like 7 years old.
Yeah, Cap's on its way out, I think. Or it's
Yeah.
just
I think it's gone already. Yeah.
period. That's what the new one apparently I learned.
Period.
Period.
That's like a menstrual cycle.
No, it's just like a definitely like it's like an exclamation point when it should be exclamation point, but it's
Period. Yeah.
yep. Yeah.
I'm on my period.
Yeah. Period. Clip that.
That I don't like that. I don't like that slang. Makes me think about menstrual cycles.
Maybe that's what they want you to do. Is there something wrong with menstrual cycles? Pierce?
No. I just
Well, then what's wrong with thinking about them?
I mean, if we're
Do you hate women, Pierce?
I like women.
Yes or no? Do you hate them?
No.
I don't like the way you
Wait,
think
this
about
I
that.
remember this. I remember this conversation.
See, look, we could be that. We could be those guys. We could do it.
Johnny SE or
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm going to do one more reminder that we are doing some open call in, ask us anything. And then we'll probably close it up here, relax, maybe review. Do you just want to pull that video up? You want to review it right now? Just do it. Add it on the end of this stream.
it's pretty long, so I don't think we'll have time to get through it all. If we started like 45 minutes ago, maybe, but
Oh, yeah. Well, speak now and forever hold your peace, I guess.
and plus, I think Matt would want to do that because he also watches those videos, so I think he'd be down to join us.
Matt's a good dude. I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
From what I know of him on the internet. He could like Pepsi better than Coke, for all I know.
Don't know either.
Good night, Taylor. Quit my sleep hat. That's a roundabout way to say it, and I like it.
You know, it's kind of funny. Like, so I go on. I recorded an episode for a podcast Unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And we had an extremely serious conversation, and it was rather lengthy. And contrasting that to like what we've done tonight, stark difference. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. They're
tuning in right now, like, wow, who was that guy that we talked to a few days ago?
I think you've been very, very demure, or whatever the kids say now. You're very composed, very, very centered.
Yeah.
I think it's this cardboard guy over here who's out of line, honestly.
I mean, he does have a looking like a really comfortable hat on.
All right. So I think what we concluded here, we got some topic ideas. We looked at some thumbnails. We talked about why we're doing it, talked about what we want to do in the future. We talked about hating women. We talked about goals and dissolving poor creatures in soda. Terrible topics in the middle of wonderful topics. So I think it's a good wrap. It's a good checkpoint. 6 months of call-in shows. We'll do this again in 6 months, do a little review. We'll be a little more ceremonious next time. We'll, get like some party hats and some streamers.
Oh, we should have. Yeah, 1 year anniversary. We got a little party hats. Like those things where you pull the thing and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever those are.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate those things. Yeah. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Yeah.
Get some on January 2nd when they're on clearance.
Yeah, smart. And then hire somebody to come sweep them all up and get them out of every crevice that they fall into. So, yeah, on it. And but I'll be rich in 6 months. I'm sure of it. Future David's gonna be way smarter than I am. He'll figure it out.
You couldn't pay me enough money to dig through all your crevices.
Oh my. Well, on that note, here's thanks for doing this. Has been fun, and we'll see everyone on the next stream. We'll try to give a heads up of where we'll be at if you want to join in a call, and if you want to do a one-on-one talk or two-on-one talk, two-on-two talk, 2-on-3, 2-on-500. Let us know. We will. We do also do more long-form talks. Check out our channels for longer talks as well, and it doesn't just have to be a call-in where you have to feel like you're under pressure.
Yeah, it can be kind of a pre-recorded type situation and upload
That's
later.
true.
That's
We don't
an
have to do it
option.
live. Yeah,
Don't have to do it live.
I want to talk to two different people who disagree and have them explain it to my cardboard guy.
Yeah, get together with your mom and come talk to David and myself.
Yeah, let's sort out your familiar family problems.
No. Just something you disagree about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you or were
All right.
you not a mistake?
All right, let's close this out before it gets too weird.
Oh, it's
All
too
right.
late, buddy. Good night.